Worried about getting scammed? Reluctant to make any purchases? In this video you will learn all the dangers of e-commerce you need to look out for. Scams. There are several ways that you can be scammed through e-commerce. Here are a few examples. Phishing scams. These scams involve attackers sending fake emails or texts that appear to be from legitimate companies, asking you to enter personal information or login credentials. Payment fraud. Some scammers will set up fake websites or online stores and ask you to pay for a product or service that they never deliver. Auction scams. In these scams, a scammer will set up a fake auction on a site like eBay and ask you to pay for a product that they never actually have. Counterfeit products. Some scammers will sell counterfeit or knockoff products through online marketplaces or their own fake websites. Investment scams. Some e-commerce scams involve offering investment opportunities that turn out to be fraudulent. To protect yourself from these types of scams, it's important to be vigilant and do your research before making any purchases or providing personal information online. This can include verifying the authenticity of a website or seller and being cautious of any offers that seem too good to be true. Malware. This is something you should always be wary about. There are several ways that you could potentially get malware from e-commerce. Downloading infected software. If you download software from an untrustworthy source, it could be infected with malware. This is especially true if you download software from a site that is masquerading as a legitimate site. Clicking on malicious links. Some e-commerce scams involve sending emails or messages with links that, when clicked, will download malware onto your device. Visiting infected websites. If you visit a website that is infected with malware, it could potentially download onto your device. This is more likely to happen if you visit an unfamiliar or untrustworthy website. Using an infected device. If you use a device that is already infected with malware to access e-commerce sites, the malware could potentially spread to your other devices. To protect yourself from getting malware through e-commerce, it's important to be cautious when visiting unfamiliar websites or downloading software, and to make sure that your devices are protected with up-to-date antivirus software. Enjoying the video? Consider subscribing so we know to make more content like this. Courses. Believe it or not, many of the e-commerce experts actually aren't that good at e-commerce. The money they show off is mainly from people buying their course, hoping to get rich. Not all YouTubers are like this, and some have genuinely valuable information, but here are some things you should always look out for. Lack of credibility. YouTube experts are not necessarily qualified or experienced in the field that they are teaching. They may not have the necessary knowledge or expertise to provide a high-quality course. Lack of accountability. YouTube experts are not held to the same standards as accredited institutions or professionals. If you are not satisfied with the course, you may not have any recourse for getting your money back. Outdated information. YouTube experts may not be able to keep their courses up to date with the latest trends and best practices in e-commerce. This could lead to you learning outdated or ineffective strategies. Limited support. YouTube experts may not have the resources or infrastructure to provide the same level of support as a more established institution or professional. This could make it difficult to get help if you have questions or need assistance with the course material. Scams. Unfortunately, there are many scammers who use YouTube as a platform to promote their fake courses or products. It's important to do your research and be cautious of any offers that seem too good to be true. Overall, it's generally a better idea to invest in a course from a reputable institution or professional, as they are more likely to provide a high-quality education and support. Fraud. There are several different types of e-commerce fraud that you should be aware of. Here are a few examples. Payment fraud. This type of fraud involves criminals stealing payment information, such as credit card or bank account numbers, and using it to make unauthorized purchases or withdraw funds. Phishing scams. These scams involve attackers sending fake emails or texts that appear to be from legitimate companies, asking you to enter personal information or login credentials. Auction scams. In these scams, a scammer will set up a fake auction on a site like eBay and ask you to pay for a product that they never actually have. Counterfeit products. Some scammers will sell counterfeit or knockoff products through online marketplaces or their own fake websites. Investment scams. Some e-commerce scams involve offering investment opportunities that turn out to be fraudulent. Business email compromise, BEC, scams. In these scams, attackers will send fake emails purporting to be from a company's CEO or other high-ranking executive, asking employees to transfer money or sensitive information. To protect yourself from these types of fraud, it's important to be vigilant and do your research before making any purchases or providing personal information online. This can include verifying the authenticity of a website or seller and being cautious of any offers that seem too good to be true. Counterfeiting. This is a form of scams or fraud, but we think it suits its own category. Counterfeiting in e-commerce can happen in a few different ways. Fake websites. Some scammers will set up fake websites that appear to be legitimate online stores and sell counterfeit products through these sites. Online marketplaces. Some scammers will sell counterfeit products through legitimate online marketplaces, such as eBay or Amazon. Dropshipping. Some scammers will use a dropshipping business model to sell counterfeit products. In this model, the scammer will list a product for sale on their website, and when an order is placed, they will purchase the counterfeit product from a supplier and have it shipped directly to the customer. Social media. Some scammers will use social media platforms to sell counterfeit products directly to consumers. To protect yourself from buying counterfeit products through e-commerce, it's important to be cautious and do your research before making any purchases. This can include verifying the authenticity of a website or seller and being wary of any deals that seem too good to be true. If you learned something new in the video, consider subscribing to see more content like this.